and I sold it for about 310. So I took home $140 a contract. All right, everybody, let's look into some of my trade recaps. I went about 3 for 4 today, a couple scalps in there that I wasn't able to signal because they were too quick, but some very quality setups that I wanted to talk through with everyone today. So you can kind of see what I see on a daily basis, and then hopefully it helps you out, better your trading. So I'm looking at the S&P 500 here. I noticed the gap down pre-market. Home Depot missed their earnings, bad outlook. Same with Walmart, had a pretty tough outlook. So companies are not looking the best, in my opinion. The economy is not looking the best, but that's besides the point. The stock market's a little bit unrelated to the economy to a degree. A lot of people say that, but to me, I think they're pretty nicely correlated. So I drew this downtrend pre-market, and that's exactly what I was watching for right at open. I don't really like to trade the first 15-ish minutes of the day unless I see a clear path move, but this breakout of the day showed me that it looked like it was pretty bullish at the beginning of the open. So we dropped down, we got a nice spike up, got another little spike up, and we could have continued to squeeze. But this rejection right here came so fast that as soon as it broke below this downtrend, I hopped in some of these puts. So I kind of went with the momentum on this trade. Usually I like to kind of catch it before it goes down, but that's a lot harder and a lot easier said than done. But I ended up taking this and getting a fill on these $4,000 SPX puts, same day expiration. These are scalps, so I know SPX is really, really difficult to trade. You have to be really in and out if you know how to trade. If you don't know how to trade, stick with the SPY. SPY's a lot slower movements, and then do a couple days out because you'll protect yourself from the theta decay. So these were the $4,000 calls or $4,000 puts for the market today. So just trying to get this. I don't know why it's all the way over here. There we go. So $4,000 puts I looked at the open today. And basically what I saw, I'll zoom in right here at this early morning jump. They only were like $115 at the top. So I was like, the market, if you saw my video yesterday on the daily chart, it really looked like that we were about to retest that $400 level because, well, I hate to do this again, but here's the uptrend that we ended up breaking down. We had this retest of that uptrend. And most of the time when you break down or break out of a trend line, you're going to retest it, and then it's going to move the direction that you want it to most of the time. So I saw this right here. I thought we were going to go up to this 408, 409 level, but we ended up gapping down and just falling today, which was kind of expected for me. I kind of had that in my YouTube video yesterday that I was talking about my watch list that we were going to probably test this 400 level. I was expecting it to jump up a little bit. Then we had a nice sell-off day, but we did end up selling off 2% today, which is pretty massive. So really great red day today. It was all over it, and I took this 170 put here at the $4,000 level, and let's talk through it. So I went to $4,000 puts right at the top of that Bollinger Band as soon as it broke that downtrend, and I ended up seeing this drop all the way down to 402.50. I was going to take this profit, but it didn't end up filling me around this 300 level, so I was going to take, what was it? I got a fill at 170, so I was going to take a 130 a contract, which is a great return in 5 minutes. So I took that 130, didn't end up filling me, but I wasn't freaking out a little bit. I had a nice little stop loss once it started to come back down at break even, so like 170-ish level. It almost hit me. It tapped down to this 190, got the fill at 170, so I was locking in $20 a contract no matter what. There was no risk involved there. So regardless, on 10 contracts, would have made $200. So you can't really be too upset about that on any given trade, especially when it only takes 5 minutes. But luckily, it finally bounced because it rejected that downtrend from pre-market that I was paying attention to. So here was the downtrend, right? And then it bounced back up and rejected that. Usually after a bearish engulfing pattern like that, you're going to see more weakness. Even if there's a nice little spike up, it's really good opportunity to get involved on a little spike up after a bearish engulfing pattern. If it goes from high of the day to low of the day, there's just a bunch of sell orders, and it just kind of indicates that there's a lot of weakness and no buyers in the market. So once I saw that this rejected, I was okay holding my position, and I actually ended up getting out of my position down here around 402.40, and I sold it for about 310. So I took home $140 a contract. So not too bad, but I did miss out on some extra gains because it ran up to 4, and then obviously later on in the day, these contracts went all the way up to 1,000. But I'm not going to wait all day long for that. So you're going to see contracts pass you by and a lot of money pass you by often, but I'm okay. I'm okay with $140 a contract to sit here and watch a trade for 10 minutes. I'm in and I'm out. The market, you're not supposed to sit here and watch the screens all day. There's a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, if you can secure those in a quick manner, why not? So I took my money, I ran, and I actually took a couple other scalps. I took a call right here. I'll signal why, or show you why I actually ended up taking a call, because on the SPY 1 minute chart, I saw a nice little breakdown, started to form a nice little descending triangle pattern right here. So when I look at this 1 minute chart, I saw this nice descending triangle, right? And this is about the only time that I saw calls. So this is a scalp play. Remember, it's in and it's out very quickly. I saw this whole downtrend on the 1 minute chart right here, and it bounced many, many times. And as soon as I see it break out of this downtrend right here, I'm all in. I'm always going to play this. Most of the time, I'm going to play this unless the market is really weak, or, it's just like really bad news events are out there. So I'm always going to play this downtrend break. But keep in mind, don't chase this spike, because premiums are going to spike really high when you see a nice little jump like that. So wait for it to come down. The premiums will come down quite a bit with it, and you'll be able to make a good amount of money. So I ended up taking the 40, I think 60 calls on the SPX. So on this retest, it breaks out and then it starts to consolidate a little bit. Once it hits this line, I like to buy when it hits it again. Most of the time on that retest, you'll see another nice little spike, and that's exactly what happened here. So I ended up taking one little trade lot on this little spike here, this test. I went up, but I didn't sell it right away on this little spike because it wasn't enough return for me. Here, I was looking for that spike one more time. So this was a little bit riskier. That's why I didn't really have, too much confidence in signaling it to my channel. But here was where I saw this spike here, and then I ended up buying a couple more. Really risky, because I would have got stopped out if it started to plunge to low of the day. But on this premium spike, again, I ended up selling out my profits. So that was a pretty risky trade in a downtrend, but as soon as I saw this break, I'm always going to take that. If you're in for quick scalps, it could happen within 1 to 2 to 5 minutes. So it's exactly what happened here. I got a little greedy, let it fall back for me, and then I ended up adding more, which is a very risky move, but I had some confidence, I had some conviction that it was going to stay above this trend line that it just broke, and then I sold at the very next jump out. So not too much money, not as much money as the first trade. I didn't go as heavy, but there was still good money to be made. The last thing I wanted to show you on the recap was Tesla. Tesla is looking really good. I probably should have kept some of these, but I had some Tesla 197.5s for Friday on the put side. The whole market's weak. Tesla's kind of has a mind of its own, but I really like the way it was set up. So let's throw these over there real quick. These 197.5s are now almost 600. That really hurts. I ended up buying these for 350. I think a lot of people on my channel ended up getting them for like 310, 320, because by the time I sold it, I was already down at the time. But I was looking to swing this a little bit. Didn't end up swinging it, took the profit. But when I look at the Tesla, I took at 350. So this is where I took it, around this 350 level. Maybe it was right around here. I took it right around this 350 level. It dropped down on me a little bit. I think people got it some pretty nice fills, and then it spiked all the way up to 550. I ended up selling the spike up to, it was like 480. I missed this level right up here to 550, and then obviously it ran all the way to 6. But what I saw on Tesla on this little pushback was the market was getting really weak, and I still have this trend line that I was watching for. So there was a nice little uptrend, and as soon as it broke this uptrend, I ended up taking puts as soon as it got there. So I took this 350. I ended up losing out on some premium because I think I bought it around here, and then it spiked up, so I ended up losing a little bit, or I was down. But I held through because they expired on Friday, and I actually ended up selling this premium drop. So I missed this 550 fill, and then that was $200 a contract, and then it ran up a little bit, and I ended up selling somewhere around here, and I ended up making like 140 a piece. So it wasn't bad there. I didn't go too heavy on the Tesla trade, but those were the 3 great trades I was able to signal today. That was my trade recap. Green day for me. It's been a pretty back and forth year for me. Obviously got a couple things that I'm working on in the outside of the trading world, but I'm all in right now. I'm back with the content. I want to do a bunch of trading recaps. I want to do a bunch of live trading. So I'll be live, a couple times a week on the YouTube channel, every single day, and my channel personally. So don't forget to check it out. Check out a lot of the videos that I have creating. I'm going to do many more podcasts on the My Next Movement. I got a lot of good, valuable content coming out, just all in all. So pay attention. If you don't mind subscribing to the channel, you'll get a lot more value. You'll see probably a video pop up every single day, and especially with the trade recaps, because I am trading every single day. So Tesla puts looking really good. SPY, SPX, I guess, if you want to trade the SPY, I trade the SPX, but if you want to trade the SPY against the SPX positions, you can also have some really great returns. You just need a little bit more size because they're a lot cheaper and they don't move as well, but SPX is a lot riskier. So don't recommend it unless you're a really experienced trader. Those are my 3 main trades today. The SPX quick little call scalps, I was looking for the downside, and then Tesla downside, I love. If there's anything I'm looking for in the future, it is this $200 breakdown on NVIDIA. So finally broke out of its weekly downtrend. Looks like it has a lot of room to fall. Could be great, so all eyes there, and hopefully me talking through this helped you guys out.